And it is a dark and gloomy, cloudy day. Not a pretty day at all, but at least it's not too cold. It's probably about 45 or so. So we've gotten a lot of questions recently about how we feed our chickens and what do these guys eat and how do we take care of them in the winter. So I thought I'd take a minute today and show you guys what we do. So let's go. So we keep these two buckets out here. This one is for the morning, and this one is for the evening. So I'll show you what we're putting in these, but they're basically, these two are the same, but we are fermenting their chicken feed. So when I'm ready to use their chicken feed, this fermented portion of it, see if I can do this, sit you guys down just a minute. Maybe you can, hopefully you can see this. Basically, we've got these two screens, these little filters or sieves here, and what I'll do is I will pour the chicken feed into those to drain the water out. And why do we do that? Well, soaking the feed removes something called anti-nutrients off of the seeds and seed hulls, and fermenting it also helps to make it more digestible to the birds, so that they get more nutrients and more use out of it. So while I'm feeding the other animals, I'll wait for that to get ready to, or finish draining so that we can feed it to them. But I'll show you how we mix it. Alright, so the poultry feed that we use comes from a company called New Country Organics, and there is one of the feed labels off of it. It is soy-free, organic, and all natural grains. Now there's a couple of the bags. I just finished unloading and putting them in the where they go, but that is the feed that we're using. So we keep the scratch in one, and we keep the laying feed in another one. So when I'm ready to mix for their next batch, I take one of our scoops. We don't know how many birds, you just adjust the amount that you need, but that, it's kind of dark in here, about 3/4 of a scoop or up to the handle level of each one, and we'll put that in the bucket, just like so. Now, one of the things that I've learned, I figured out, I actually wrote it on this scoop, is how much our hens need or use, and for how many birds. So for laying hens, they need 2 scoops for 20 birds, 6 scoops for 60 birds, and 3 scoops for 30 birds. So just a little handy reminder written on our scoop there of how much feed we need for who. Now, the other thing we add to this soaked feed are organic sunflower seeds, premium grade. We have a smaller scoop. We'll simply add that to their feed. Then, the next thing is what helps it ferment literally overnight. It's not a strong ferment, not alcohol by any means, but we have apple cider vinegar, and we'll put a splash of the apple cider vinegar in there, and this is the type with the mother. We just got that it is organic. We got that at Costco, I think, is where we got that. But so then this will be for the next feeding. We'll take this one out here. just keeping it in a bucket. And then we're going to simply put some water in there. And those guys are still draining, getting ready for me to use. We will put some water in that feed to soak it, and this will soak for 24 hours in this bucket. In the summer months of the warm weather, that ferments very quickly, and it will be more fermented in the summer months than it is in the winter months, just because of the temperature difference. But you can see the difference between this grain and the dry grain that we were just looking at. So those are just about finished draining. So the bucket I just put together right there, I do want to keep and put a lid on that. Number one, keep the rain out, and two, because it helps it warm and to ferment better. So while we're doing this, I'm also going to show you guys, take you along on the chicken chores and show you how we take them their water and give them all their food. So let's get to it. So to take water out to them, because ours are pasture raised, we have 5-gallon buckets. And right below this line right here, at the top of the bucket, there's several holes that are drilled in that. And those will allow the water out when we flip it over into the pans that we use for their watering trays. Works a lot better than the expensive waterers that are $40, $50, $60. So we've had the pans around for years. I couldn't tell you what those cost in a $3 or $4 bucket. So works pretty well. Let's get that one filled up, and we'll get everything loaded up, take out to the chickens. Alright, you guys hungry? Come on, girls. You guys cleaned your pans out real well. Save some for everybody else. But you guys want some grubs too, don't you? Where are you going? Camera scaring you? You don't want to talk to the people? Come on. I know there's something new here. If they see that camera, it doesn't come out here very often. There we go, save some for the rest. Alright, next I'm going to show you how the water works. So we have these 5-gallon buckets, just like the one I brought out here, the fresh one. You just take this one out. Flip it over, hard to do one-handed. Flip that guy over, clean their pan out, and then we'll get the new water bucket and flip it over inside. Alright, let's try this one-handed. Here we go. Not too bad. Got it. So see, the water lets the little holes let the water come out and fill the pan up. So it works very well. Just a pan, 5-gallon bucket with a couple of holes in the sides, and lets it trickle out and fill the pan up. Works really good. All right. Time to gather some eggs from these guys. The Enmar tractor bucket does a great job bringing all this stuff out to our chickens. I'd like to get a side-by-side one of these days, but for right now, the tractor does a good job. Well, I've got a couple ladies in here. We've got a couple eggs on the ground. We'll get all these guys cleaned up and picked up. What's all the fuss? Really? What's all the fuss? All right, so I'm just gonna set the bucket up there, pick up these eggs. Come on out. Come on. So these are our younger birds. These are about 7 or 8 months old. Got one sitting on the eggs and she does not want to get up, but she's got to get out. So there you go. She's sitting on the mother load of the eggs. All right, a little bit lower today. The cold weather and the rain has slowed them down a little bit, but not too bad. Missed one up here. So that same food that I showed you earlier that we used to soak, we also put out for them as a dry feed in this PVC feeder. So they always have access to grain, as well as we bring them all kinds of things from the gardens and the market garden. You can see remnants here on the ground of pumpkins and kale and microgreens that we brought out to them. So they get a whole variety in their diet, even in the winter, from greens and things out of the garden. So they eat well. They're all waiting like they're going to get fed or something. I'm coming. You guys didn't drink much water. Still pretty full. You guys cleaned your plates pretty good too. You guys are doing a great job fertilizing this field. We need to get you moved over to the market garden field so you guys can fertilize that for a while over the winter. It's all part of permaculture, is using your animals to fertilize the areas you need fertilized. Here you go. I know it's not a blue scoop today, it's a green one, so you don't know what's happening. All right. See if we got some eggs from you guys today. So there's our pastured poultry setup with the electric fencing, solar powered electric fencing around each coop. There's coop 1, there's coop 2, and then way back there in the back, we're fixing to go to that one. That's coop number 3. But you can see one green patch right there in the middle, and then I'll show you some other ones. Those green patches are where they were before they got moved where they currently are. So these coops are portable, and we just move them with the tractor or by hand, and relocate them periodically every few days or weeks, and make sure they're on fresh ground. right, so there you have it, guys. That's how we soak the grain for our chickens, and we do that twice a day, morning and in the evening. Just feed it to them twice a day. Healthy, happy chickens, as you can see. Showed you our watering system, our watering pans, so hopefully that's of help. If you have any questions about how we do it or why we do it, please leave those in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching our videos, and we'll see you on the next one.